Yo, yo, Soul Avery. I see you in any more Cubase tutorials talking about Cubase got the best piano roll. We're gonna have to we're gonna have to we have to look at your chat privileges. I'm everywhere. I'm out here. No, y'all stop. Don't start. Don't start. Don't start. Don't start a piano roll war in my chat. Oh my god, why are they asking for dubstep step tutorials in my fucking Discord, bro? Why do people hate me? All right. Let's let's roll the intro. Make a little chord progression while I'm out here. You know, why not? Bro, there's something super weird about the damn OBS just like breaks AirPlay via my extended display, and that makes me sad because it's a really awesome tool, and I don't want to get another damn display. I kind of like having this little display down here. Where is Cubase is always one update away from supremacy. mm. I hope I hope you reached all supremacy. I hope you get it. I think like good to know is Stream Deck worth it. I don't know. It depends on what you do. It also depends if you like to program things. I I program for a living. Like I don't write code, but the type of programming that you can do inside of like functional chain together macros and shit like that. I do that for like building automation systems and stuff like that. So programming a little Stream Deck to work with my desktop is awesome. What is this? What is this beat that I'm looking at? Might just be a weird OBS setting or a driver. God, that sounds like ass, bro. I know what to do with this. Close. No, I don't want to save any of those changes. That fucking Jason Joshua template, bro. Okay. Rename NOL 013. I'll close. Let me get a mellow pad. It's a mystery piano. That's nice. I don't know, something like that just to start with. Bro, 607 hit me up yesterday and he was like, bro, I need to get on a video call with you. I was like, all right. He's got his guitar in his lap and he's like, yo, I want to show you something. And I had I never had anybody explain to me the way that it makes sense to that I interpret music in theory and shit. Never like how to look at the fretboard, like the fretboard on a guitar. Like it never clicked, right? And he showed me this code for the minor pentatonic scale, and then I was like, and now I'm able to see like when I could see the all of the numbers and the scale and fucking how to move, because I know like going down is a string is a semitone, boom 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 boom, or going up rather as you get closer to the bridge of the guitar or whatever. But I didn't know like how to repeat it so that when I go down to another string and to like be able to conceptualize what the notes are. Cause like to me, if I'm gonna like try to play struggle guitar over chords, I want to know like how do I get to C, and then how do I find the fucking the intervals that I like and all that shit. And now it's super easy, bro. Crack the code on that shit, man. So now I could fuck off on the guitar and still suck. You know what I mean? Still tremendously suck, bro. Like I'm not good at this shit at all. However, with the magic of time stretch, multi-track recording, and other cheat codes, we can actually do something that like might resemble a struggle guitar loop. Let me see here. I'm on E, so this is E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, A sharp, B, C. You gonna be C right there? Oh Lord. I can't wait till I memorize this shit. Yoink. So you're a C string now? Yeah, you are. See here. Where the hell is my pick? Where's my pick? I need it now. Where did it go? Well, where did you go? My guitar pick. Pew, 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 pew. Cause like to write a struggle guitar loop, I don't I don't need to be able to move around on chords and no shit like that. I just need to be able to find me the trap intervals. I just need to find me the trap intervals. Do I have any? I wonder if I got any. Get this out of here. We don't need this. We don't need this right now. Remove. Do I have any guitar shit? I think I got. I think. What's this gonna make my guitar sound like though? Is my guitar gonna sound like America now? CMP, you lined in the gen loss? No. I'm just I'm just picking back up struggle guitar. I have a really important talk for you guys. I'm just waiting for people to get in. Y'all let me know when I got like more than 6 people watching. So cuz I don't want people to run away. Like I have something that I actually want to talk to you guys about. I didn't tag everyone in the Discord. Can somebody do an at everyone under my link real quick? That makes me so happy. That's just like. Yo. That's so fun. That's so fun. No quantize. I'm Jay Dilla. Yo, so 100 is in the building, bro. Was your birthday? Was your birthday this week? All right. So if you've seen the it's the 17th with Av McCree. You and Av McCree got the same birthday. Okay, okay. Look at that. Couple of goats. Couple of old goats. I love it. All right, so check it out. Boom, 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 boom. So I wanted to shout out to You still got feedback on the guitar? Are you sure? How about now? What are you guys hearing? It's gone now? Okay. Cool. All right. So shout out to Low Post Frank, who is going by low spot sound now. And he brought this article to the Discord. Actually, it wasn't an article, it was a video. But I seen this I remember seeing this circulate around. I don't remember if this was I don't think this was a part of this might have been a part of the Spicy Sunday Chronicles. You remember Low Post? All right. So this brother right here, Chad Focus, right? So we've got, first of all, who the fuck is Yashua Espinosa, bro? Because this was this was lazy journalism. This was lazy journalism. Just gonna say it. It was lazy journalism. So we've got, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 words on this, right? Sensational headline. Chad Focus gets 30-month sentence for stealing $4 million from employer, right? So Chad Focus he wound up on like on Donkey of the Day. Um, and just anybody who talked about this incident at the time, pretty much all the information that was available was the result of his court case, where the result of his court case was, where is it? Saying Chad Arrington illegally used a company credit card to spend more than $4 million to promote himself as a hip hop artist and to promote his company. Said acting U.S. Attorney Jonathan F. Lenzer. Now Arrington will spend more than 2 years in prison in the United States. So he went to jail for fraud, right? So if you guys don't remember this story, bro like came out of nowhere, and he was on, like, he had a song with T-Pain, um had a whole bunch of streams. He was doing shows with Lil Baby and Moneybagg Yo, um that that he was throwing, you know what I mean? And he basically exposed one, that Radio Payola is 100% real and is taking and happens to this day, right? He exposed that people were indeed buying Spotify streams from bot farms like Fame Army and um SM Zeus. And what his claim is that from his time being a marketer, that he had created his own, right? He had created his own, which when me and MG were doing this content, um and all of producer YouTube, who had deals with the fucking positivity police, you know, telling us not to not to let everybody know that there wasn't a fucking Santa Claus. Um, one of the things that was kind of um a thought experiment that was ran out was, if the average person has access to something like Fame Army or SM Zeus, and we seen this tactic being used in YouTube rankings, that it stands to reason that it would be going on with record labels. And if you remember, when we broke down, so I did a breakdown of how much it costs on SM Zeus to get a Spotify play, right? And then we seen how much a stream cost, and it became quickly evident that you could actually make money from faking your streams, right? And that's a tremendous problem. It's most likely fraud, but it's this could happen. And like Sirius pointed out, when we were talking about it in the Discord, before I got together to kind of talk about this today, was that there was two reactions in those chats. And remember, these were fucking legendary chats, bro. Like, there were 300 people in those chats, and half of the people were like, "Oh my god, this is crazy, this is wrong, throw it away." And then the other half were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you guys are fucking just giving out the Wu-Tang manual like this, bro. Like, this could potentially be the blueprint for what I finally need to do to get my music career going." So there was that, right? Fast forward to today, and um this is a violation by Keyflow, by the way. I do not look like young Dave. That's a violation by Keyflow. Oh my god, where is this? Where is this fucking? Is it in the React? Yo, where did you post this? I feel like you didn't post it in the React. Why? I posted it in the React. Okay. So, this is on the Brandman Network, which I have to preface this by saying, like, and you guys that have been around
platform, man. It's good to be home.
You guys have been around for a while, but I fucking hate marketer speak, right? I don't like the marketing trade. I don't like just so that you guys understand the way that I was raised was that the way that you get money and you be respected as a man is that you work for it. You build something, you know, with your hands, you solve a problem, you go out and sweat in the sun. You know what I mean? I come from a blue collar family. You know what I'm saying? And my creativity is kind of like, I kind of view it through like a blue collar lens. Everything I do is kind of through brute force. I don't really give a lot of like respect. I don't really like look at like things like marketing with like this view of wonder where it's like, oh my god, you mean I could sit at home in my, you know, in my pajamas and take money out of people's pockets by, you know, sending them down a funnel and shit like that. Like so I have a natural like ick towards that. And when that made this video incredibly hard to watch, and I'm just telling you, it took me 3 times to get to the part of this video that I actually wanted to share with you guys. So I'm just gonna tell you like this: you can skip the first, let me see here, you can skip the first 23 minutes of this, because like I'm just saying, if you're anything like me and you fucking hate marketer speak and ego and shit like that, and people referring to themselves in the third person, like, because it was hard to get to. But I'm telling you this because I had to start this video 3 times to finally get to the point where I was like, oh my god, I'm glad that I stuck with this, because this is really important. And I'm gonna give you the cliff notes before the deep dive, right? The cliff notes is, this is not the correct story. This is not the story. This fucking guy didn't take $4 million off of his company's credit card to buy Spotify plays, right? That is a whitewashing. There is a lot more to this. He goes into detail for himself about it. The short version of it is that he was using bots to market another company, right? That had nothing to do with music, right? Through the course of using the bots to do SEO ranking for this other company was doing business in bad faith, which got them in trouble, right? But just like when, for example, Balenciaga did those weird ass ads and everybody wanted to cancel them, they came up and said, hey, it was the marketing company. We didn't really see it until you guys did it. It's a similar tactic that this corporation did. They had people who were in the process of getting indicted. They wound up getting off, and the rapper goes to jail. Right? That's fucked up. It's fucked up. That is awful. And that's why I say that this right here um is bad journalism, because there's no talk of any of that. The focus is all on Chad Focus. And I understand that like they probably couldn't call him for a comment and he couldn't give a comment because he was still going through the legal situation, and it wasn't time to talk about it. But people who were a part of the culture, they should have tapped in earlier. You know what I mean? He should have not have wound up on Donkey of the Day, right? He shouldn't have wound up on Donkey of the Day on DJ Envy show, especially when he had been running bots for DJ Envy, and it's all that shit is in this. You heard me right. You heard me right. So I'm gonna go into some of the highlights of this so you can hear it from him, because I think that this is really important for people to know, and I think that anybody who has anything to do with music, recording, music production inside the hip hop space should watch this and not see, because here's the shit that pissed me off, right? There's all these comments about like, oh, this guy's a genius, like this is such an insane marketer, and yada yada yada, and like they want to do the same shit, and maybe you'll hear it and you want to do the same shit too, but that's not what I'm hearing. Like this dude legit, like, and maybe it's like some self-service because it's the stuff that like 3 4 5 years ago I was telling you how the music industry was built. He actually did it for himself on an independent level. He ran all the hacks, he ran all the bots, he got himself in the playlist. He actually, and then not only did he do it, he actually profited off of it, right? It didn't just, that's what's impressive. He got money out of it. He didn't just, get famous about it. But when it worked at the level of a major label, that's when the plug got pulled, right? Because the plug got pulled. So what he did is he exposed that, like, yo, no matter, like, even if you try to do what the labels do as an indie, it's not gonna work out the same, right? Which goes to show you that there is a rigged system. There is a club, and you're not in it. And most likely you're not getting in it. But artists are delusional, so they see this shit and they're like, "Oh man, yeah." So let's start here.
Game in the system, and you're not a major artist. I can't do what a 50 Cent or a French Montana or a Lil Baby can do. It's only so much that even if I got an unlimited budget, if I do a certain amount of numbers of streams on Spotify, they're going to fucking trigger that. It's going to trigger the fraud detection.
Now, if you are
So if you're like, if you're, say you're an industrious person and you hear that, right? Probably the first question that you're asking yourself is like, wait a minute, there is an amount of streams that I can buy which will allow me to, boost my numbers, and then because people like to play stuff, or there's this idea that people like to play stuff that have like numbers next to it. So you're probably thinking, wow, what is that number, right? He gets into that.
Change your approach to like how you're running some of these marketing strategies, knowing that like you might hit a ceiling where you have to like get over that hump, or are you still running things the exact same way?
I put it like this, because what it did, bro, is it helped me kind of like it actually helped me out. It helped me kind of see like where the loopholes were. You guys know how all loopholes work. And so what I say is this: the artists that contact me and that want to work now, I know it's a certain ceiling that they can go through. So I'll give you guys my exact blueprint. I could care less of.
Also, keep in mind what he just said, right? So just so that we're clear about what is actually happening about this, artists that work with me. So this still doing this.
Spotify knows about it, doesn't
selling something.
know about it. Like, I'm gonna get paid regardless, right? They banned my artist profile, so Chad Focus is no longer on Spotify. But what they can't ban is your metadata, because if they ban your metadata, they got to ban everybody's metadata. There's certain artists that have been able to re-upload their tracks, but they had to change the name because there's different levels of fraud detection that's going to happen. All right. For me personally, I got over 200 records in BMI. The scale you're allowed to do as an independent artist every day is 3,000 streams or below. So if I got 200 records,
you hear that? You can buy 3,000 streams or less, supposedly, prior to this video coming out. Who knows if it's going to change or not? And it won't trigger fraud detection. Fraud detection being, if they trigger it, you get a penalty by the platform. You know, something like he's referencing your them, you know, banning your account or taking your songs down, right? And then he's saying that the counter to that is the metadata is still in there. So somehow what he's not telling you is how they get around that and still get you paid. That's the little caveat that's missing. Let's continue.
And I'm doing 3,000 streams or below, I can do around 600,000 streams a day. You understand what I'm saying? But I got to do it through an assortment of records. So I'm not allowed to have one record blow up. But I understand how I'm gonna get paid every day. So if I can do 600,000 streams a day times 30 days in a month, I know how to do my 18 million streams. I still know how to make my $50,000, $60,000, $70,000.
Okay, now let's stop here. Let's stop here, because what I want you to think about, because I know you guys are thinking about like, oh, maybe I'll do this for my beat tape or something. Stop, like get out of Santa land. What I want you to think about is look at what has happened with our rap industry, right? What do artists have to do? They come out, drop project after 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 project. Build your catalog, build your catalog. Why? 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 Why do you think? Why do you think? Put it together. Pay dues? No, bro. So they can do this, right? See, that's what like all the people in his comments, like they don't understand. Like, this is not like, bro did not invent this scheme, bro. The labels did. And these artists who are going around make, like, I wouldn't be like, do you understand what I'm saying? If an artist, he's telling you that in order to make money, you need 200 songs on streaming, right? So if I can, so it, say in the span of 2 years, like say I put out 5 mixtapes a year, each one of the mixtapes has 10 songs. Why did fucking songs get shorter? You think songs got shorter because your attention span sucked? No, your songs got shorter, right? So that you could make more of them in a less amount of time. So that in 2 years you could scale up, put out your 10 projects, have your 200 songs or whatever out there, and then we'll just buy those 3,000 streams a day, or whatever the cap is for someone who signed. You guys following me? I hope so. I hope you're not missing this.
It's by becoming an independent label, which they don't want us to be as young black men. Own all of your artwork, put your guys on your paperwork, build it up together. and become a brand, become a label. So that's how I make my money now, guys, because I understand how to spread the love. Prior to this, Get to the Money was my record. Dance With Me was my record. I was running up the streams 1 million a day, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. And they was like, yo, how's this kid doing more streams than your Taylor Swift, your Uzi Verts, your Kodak Blacks, your Drakes? It just wasn't working for them. So that's really how I charted, guys, because I was out here trying to break that shit and let it be known, like, yeah, we figured it out. And it's not for me as far as being an artist, guys. I'm like you guys. At the end of the day, I love the music, I love the culture, yo, but I love the game more than that.
Yeah, I got you. So it sounds like the strategy changed from.
So, like, just understand, like listen to what he says. He's a marketer first with all this shit, right? Be Real says, "Oh, Be Real, I'm so happy that you're here, bro. I'm so happy that you're here." Cause you know that Santa isn't real, but I still feel like you might still believe in the elves or the reindeer. Yeah, no, we doing global warming on the North Pole today, bro. All right, so check this out.
But y'all see where artificial intelligence is going, like
Yeah.
videos, content, editing, copywriting, like the world about to change right before our eyes. I was into the bots and engineering fellas 2011, and I got into the marketing world. And it first started, guys, with the search engine, which is Google, Yahoo, Bing. Companies paid me lots of money to help them rank on the first page of Google, because if they had certain keywords that was bringing them traffic, they didn't have to spend money on paid advertising. The best client is an organic client, somebody who feels like they found something. But people don't realize organic is just a strategy. It's just a term, fellas. It's just a strategy. It's just a way that people feel like they found something. It's a fulfillment. You can either do paid or you can do organic. When I came in the game, bots were used to manipulate the search engines to make people's content show up higher than others. So if
he's talking about 2011 right now.
You got YouTube and your name is Brandman Sean, and you're doing a video on Gucci Mane, and it's 20 million people searching for Gucci Mane that day, and your video shows up first, Sean gonna get 18 million of those
type beats
views. He probably gonna be rich overnight off of advertisements and clicks and whatever else he's doing. He might have to invest in his visibility. So
oh, that's a nice way to say it. Invest in your visibility. Buy fake plays.
Sean doesn't have to be Hot 97 or Complex or DJ.
You see how the phrasing, like when I say it, like buy some plays, it seems like it's cheating, right? But if we gussy up the language and call it investing in your visibility, and put that perspective on it, it's like, yeah, dude, let's do that.
Academics or say cheese if he got a guy like me, because I can use bots to make Sean an authority for whatever content he's posting on the internet.
I can use bots to make Sean an authority on any content that he's posting. Now, I want you guys to understand that that's how these authority figures pop up. That's how it happens. This is the sauce. This is what he's like. This is it. It's not a hunch. This is why they're banning TikTok. No, this is not why they're banning TikTok.
So that was the initial way I got into this lane. I was working for Wall Street companies that weren't as big as Wall Street Journal, that weren't as big as The Street, and they wanted their financial news information to show up in front of everybody in the world. So I learned how to tweak the game to help publishers in the financial news space get visibility for big projects. They paid me a lot of money based off the front end and the back end sales. So I became a millionaire, guys, in my early 20s. When I seen how that industry worked, this was before Spotify, Tidal, and Apple Music came out. When that came out, the same exact contractors I was using from Upwork, guys, and Fiverr.com, they transitioned right along with me from the Google search engines to social media to YouTube.
Pay attention. Listen to what he's saying. Don't miss this shit.
Off the front end and the back end sales. So I became a millionaire, guys, in my early 20s. When I seen how that industry worked, this was before Spotify, Tidal, and Apple Music came out. When that came out, the same exact contractors I was using from Upwork, guys, and Fiverr.com, they transitioned right along with me from the Google search engines to social media to YouTube. social media, YouTube, Google, the one thing that nobody has a conversation with, Spotify, they're all search engines in their own respects. They're just search engines for different topics and different niches. The concept is exactly the same.
I'm trying to understand how it works for social media. It feels like he's saying it's the same engine. Use more words. What are you trying to figure out?
So the ability to tweak an algorithm based on traffic, views, likes, comments, streams is synonymous in every industry, fellas. So this don't just start and stop, with the music industry. This shit is everywhere. You can tweak this shit any and everywhere. If you understand the music industry, labels been buying artists' records forever. If you go back to 50 Cent and you go back to Kanye West, they were buying those records to make sure one guy went platinum.
Y'all forgot about this. So they okay. So the way that record sales worked in physical sales before there was streaming sales is in order to get a platinum plaque, you needed to sell 1 million records. In order to get a gold plaque, you needed to sell 500,000 records within 30 days of your release, right? So social media reviews work at the same time, boosted by an engine. Yeah, bro. I mean, dude. Okay. What are the... Okay, these are all the platforms. These are all the platforms. These are all the platforms. So, my boy, any of these platforms, any of these platforms that sell on this site, you can manipulate. Any of these platforms, you can invest in your visibility. Any of these platforms, you can invest in your visibility, right? And this is old. It's been around and it's not going anywhere. So where was I? What the fuck is he talking about?
They were making sure that you went number one on Billboard because you were number one. Then clout took over and artists' records forever. If you go back to 50 Cent and you go back to...
Right. So it used to be you had to sell 1 million records or you had to sell 500,000 within 30 days. That's how you would get a gold plaque, right? And when you hear that as the consumer, because you're a consumer and all you know is your consumer brain, you believe that when you buy it, that's when the sale is being counted. But the record label and the RIAA are not certifying it when the customer buys it. They're certifying it when the wholesaler buys it. You understand what that means? That means that if, back then, say for example, somebody went gold in the first week. That means that 500,000 CDs went to Best Buy. It doesn't mean that the fans bought 500,000 CDs. It means the Best Buy bought the 500,000 CDs. It means if it went platinum, that means that Best Buy bought the million albums. You understand?
The Kanye West, they were buying those records to make sure one guy went platinum.
Bro, this shit happened with fucking Captain Marvel, bro. They were buying tickets 100 at a time for matinee shows to boost the numbers of that movie.
Making sure that you went number one on Billboard because you were number one. then clout took over, and then people really came to buy the records and engage. So being number one has always been the goal, whether you in the music industry, whether you was in different publishing world. And that's how I got started with the bots, guys. I've been building one of the biggest bot networks for the last 12 to 13 years. When I was indicted, the conversation that nobody had was that Chad Focus took $4 million and we feel like he invested it.
All right. This is, to me, this is the most important part of this talk right here. 32 minutes. This is the most important part of the talk, because what happened here wasn't right. And nobody who, like, you know what I mean? This should be like academics, Joe Budden, Charlemagne, like all them dudes. But you know why they're not talking about it? You could read between the lines, right? You don't need me to tell you.
Into the Chad Focus brand. A lot of the headlines that people took was that he invested this money into the music industry. Now y'all know I'm too intelligent to take $4 million and not have 50 number one hits and not to get a Drake fucking feature and all this other shit. So that was just bullshit.
It pissed them off because he is smart. No, stop that right now. Do not fall for this braggadocio bullshit, right? Do not fall for the fucking ego trip that this guy's on. Don't fall for that shit. He's sitting here, like, speaking in the third person, telling you that he's intelligent. You're fucking looking at this thing that you've never heard before, so it's fucking blowing your mind. But this is all simple tactics that have been used by the music industry, and the only reason why it's mind-blowing is because you've never heard of it before. Remember, these aren't like these aren't new ideas that are crazy for next. It's just so don't fall into a narrative that the reason why they don't like this guy is because he's so fucking smart. The reason why they don't like him is because he was exposing how the shit really works. And if you believe in Santa, right, and you go around telling all the kids that there's no Santa, that shit's not cool. You're gonna get pushback. I hate when you guys don't read between the lines correctly, bro. I don't want to have to spell all this shit out, man, but I will.
On Billboard because you were number one, then clout took over, and then people really came to buy the records and engage. So being number one has always been the goal, whether you in the music industry, whether you was in different publishing world. And that's how I got started with the bots, guys. I've been building one of the biggest bot networks for the last 12 to 13 years. When I was indicted, the conversation that nobody had was that Chad Focus took $4 million and we feel like he invested into the Chad Focus brand. A lot of the headlines that people took was that he invested this money into the music industry. Now y'all know I'm too intelligent to take $4 million and not have 50 number one hits and not to get a Drake fucking feature and all this other shit. So that was just bullshit. The idea was to make it look like I was fucking ignorant, because if he got all this money and he got records and he don't blow up, y'all need to stick with us.
You got that?
It was a shot at us. Like, y'all niggas ain't smart. Y'all better come and stick with us. Y'all gonna come and buck the system? Is you crazy? Is y'all Lonzo Ball's father? Is you LeVar Ball?
Pay attention. Let me know if you need me to make it plainer.
You're not sending your son over to Turkey and he becoming the number 3 pick and he's LaMelo Ball. They don't want that, bro. That's how you see how they attack anything that doesn't make sense to them. So I was something that didn't make sense because I was a threat to the entire industry, fellas. If you can't keep these niggas stupid and you can't keep people uninformed, then guess what? You can't control them. So when you,
not only that, if you're somebody like the other bigger content creators who are going into multi-million-dollar deals, by manipulating audio playback systems with fake streams and shit, you don't want to have to deal with real competition. You know what I mean? The people who are already up in the elite, it's controlled. They get to because they know the system and they have the relationship, they're closed off. The shit is still under lock and key. You still have the gatekeepers. They still exist, right? But if you have, if you have someone like Chad Focus out there, and he's he's a regular guy. Now, granted, I don't know if you missed the part where he said that he had had over $1 million in his 20s, right? Whether that be personal finances, liquid capital, or his company. The point is, he had access to funds to be able to manipulate this. So this ain't some shit that you are just gonna do tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing this tomorrow. But not everybody is broke like you. You know what I'm saying? There are Chad Focuses out there who could potentially make these plays, and what they wanted to cut off, and the reason why I feel like the hip hop community just left this guy out to dry was because he would have ended gatekeeping. He would have made it so that, okay, because people think that you could just buy your way into the music industry. You absolutely cannot. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he tried it. He got pretty close, but didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? But that's why. It's not because they were mad at him for being smart.
You look at your Michael Jacksons, bro, and you look at your Princes, and you look at all the information they was giving us. People don't talk about that, bro. They don't talk about how Mike owned half the industry and all the publishing. They don't talk about how Prince changed his name, bro, because he just wanted to be compensated for what he invested in his projects. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what it was, bro. I figured out the game. I made a lot of money in a lot of different industries, bro. This is just bigger than the bigger than music, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's much bigger. Like I said, we can talk about the Ticketmaster, billboards.
Yeah, I actually want to get right.
Bro, the Ticketmaster stuff is crazy. Ticketmaster stuff is absolutely nuts.
Drake releases like another New York date or something, right? So it's a lot of people in the Ticketmaster
Bro.
audience saying like, "Hey, y'all finessed us into buying these tickets," and Drake has other plans.
The way that you do it is Ticketmaster is going to go ahead and, if you make a deal with them and you're going to be a promoter, you can go ahead and buy out a venue. So let's just say you buy out MeQ Pavilion or you buy out Madison Square Garden. You pay them up front. They want to get 30% of whatever you do as far as a net. The day that the tickets come out, you got something called a fire sale, guys, or early bird sale, which means that you could probably get the tickets for less the first day of. Mm-hmm. What companies like Ticketmaster were doing and record labels were doing is they were buying out 80% of the tickets the day of at the lowest price that you could. All right. Because now, once you guys understand why this is genius, they can write that money off as marketing. So they giving your radio station tickets, they giving tickets to the kids, they giving tickets to the artists, they doing all types of promotional things with those tickets. But now the concert looks like, yo, this shit about to be jamming. Like, yo, this joint almost sold out. Yo, you got to get you a ticket before there's none left. Now, Ticketmaster owns those tickets, bro. They now are going to upsell them for 200, 300, 400% the markup. The week before the concert releases, you got 20% of people that actually bought the tickets because it looked like it was sold out and they really want to go to the show. That week, they start to re-release tickets. It starts to look like people was refunding tickets, so you got a spot available. Ticketmaster is just re-releasing their tickets back on the platform. So now if they bought it at $50, you now can buy it at $100, $200, $300.
And this is made possible because of that premiumization model that I was telling you guys before about how you can run up prices because now we have people who have so much disposable income that you can afford to sell a concert ticket to somebody that's $600 and only market to those people.
$400. They're going to always break even for life, guys. They will never ever miss. They know how this game works. By the night of the concert, that Friday night, they're going to release even more tickets, but then they're going to put them on third-party websites, your Eventbrite, your StubHubs, and now they're going to sell them from $50 to $500, thousands of dollars, $2,000. By the day of the concert, they're going to have their own ticket scalpers in the street that work for them. The guys that me and y'all know that we want to go to a basketball game, we want to go to a Drake concert, we call Mike up, and he got the tickets for us. You guys know what I'm talking about. Everybody has a street team, all right? The day of the concert is called urgency, and it's called scarcity, and we are marketers. It's the same thing they do with PlayStation. It's the same thing they do with Jordan. Same thing we do with Yeezy.
You guys get the long and short of that. Let's see where some other notable moments from this.
But I don't think that they understand that you got to share a bit of the pie and you got to be informed about what's going on. So
Yeah,
getting taken advantage of is a choice. Not knowing certain information that you guys know, it's a choice now.
yeah, and I think too, like, touch on Sean's point. I think the most successful people in music realize that at the end of the day, this is really just a game, right? And so it's like if I go play Monopoly and Sean reads me the Monopoly rules, I'm like, man, I don't really fuck with those Monopoly rules. Sean's gonna be like, well, it's the only way you can win. You know what I'm saying? You have to play within the rules of the game if you want to beat me, right? And I think that
That's such a good analogy because they go through this talk and they're pretty much like driving home the point, like what does he call it, investing in your visibility. Like if you want to do music and you want to be commercially successful, you're going to have to play the invest in your visibility game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, right? So I gave you guys my disclaimer about kind of like my blue collar outlook on things, and that shit don't line up with my creativity or nothing like that, right? So what does that mean for me? That means that there's no pursuit artistically in music as far as like releasing music and attempting to be commercially viable that is going to necessarily be worth my time and energy, because I'm the person that he's describing, where I look at the Monopoly rules and I'm like, this is a stupid fucking game. You know what I'm saying? I do not want to play this game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am not. This is no fun. You know what I'm saying? This is no fun. So I'm not doing it. So Be Real says, I just finally now realize why there's an underground, because they hate commercial shit. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, bro. And I've always been like, I've always been, like I fuck with commercial music. Don't get me wrong. Like, I fucking love, I grew up in the 90s and I fucking love Puff Daddy albums. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with commercial music, but I'm not like the kind of person who's like, oh, there's no talent. There's like, I look at somebody like Chad Focus, and that is a talent, that he has, or Brandman, or his co-host that I don't remember his name, so please forgive me. But these gentlemen, they have talent as marketers. You know what I mean? And that's not to say that that's their own talent, or like to minimize it, or to say the creativity is better or anything. Because I while this kind of stuff, like, it's cringy for me, I can respect it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a good capitalist at the end of the day. You know, um, and Antitrust says it seems like a choice between money and art. Yeah, no, it's definitely a choice between money and art. It depends on what side of the fence you fall on, and what you have the tolerance and energy for. There's this like this trope nowadays that 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 being there's this trope that, like, oh, to be a producer you have to be this and that, and you need to be a marketer, and yada 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 yada. And, I think that's bullshit. You know what I mean? I think to be a producer you need to make songs with people. Like to be a producer, you just need to produce records, and then you are a producer. um that's what makes a producer, and that's what's important. Now, if you have um if you have like that marketer brain and that marketer mindset, then go forward and market. And I understand why a lot of marketers, like, I could understand why somebody like Chad Focus, who, like, he can write raps, he could flow on a beat, and why he would prefer to, do the music for himself rather than tap in with an artist, because artists are fucking annoying. You know what I'm saying? If there's any artists watching this, you guys are fucking annoying. You guys believe this fairy tale that your talent is supposed to do everything for you. Now you watch some brothers like this and you see how much you know how much work, dedication, money, investment, time, effort goes into making that shit that you wrote while you were high turn into something significant. And now that the uh the barrier to make art has been lowered, you could see why more people who have the knack for marketing are just like, you know what, I just do it myself. I don't have to work with it. I don't have to work with the artist. I, my dream, you know what I mean? My stupid dream, because we all do music and we all have one, right? My stupid ass dream is that the next time there's a Chad Focus, that he's like, instead of doing the creative side on himself, like we get back to like those Damon J situations, right? Where it's just like, all right, you're gonna handle the business, the marketing, you're gonna make sure this where's I have to go. I'm gonna handle the art. We come together, we execute, and we do great things that is truly impactful to the genre, that is truly impactful to the culture. Because the one thing that being an amazing marketer that's producing art is never going to do is create a classic album. You know what I mean? It's never going to create a verse that is like the Inspector Deck verse off of Triumph, or it's never going to create a verse that's like Tuscan Leather. You know what I'm saying? No marketer is going to write Tuscan Leather. No marketer is going to write 5 a.m. in Toronto. You understand what I'm saying? That's not going to happen. CMP being pro art in this case is hilarious. Oh, Ant, you got me fucked up, man. I'm always pro art.
That's what a disconnect is. Artists will come in not realizing there are rules to the game. They'll learn the rules to the game, but oh, that's not right. That's not fair. And then people like us are like, well, it is what it is. So I'm gonna go figure out how to at least play it before I start trying to change things. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen that a lot just with what I consider to be successful and unsuccessful artists. The most successful artists, even they put out the image that they won't play the game, when you talk to them behind the scenes, it's a completely different story. You know what I'm saying? They're like, no, I did this because I need to do this, and my manager put me on this game, and that's what made this go. So like, I guess the question I want to tie on that to you is like, what was the moment when you realized like this was a game you kind of had to play, right? Like I like asking artists, like, when was the moment you got your rose tinted glasses kind of knocked off about the industry and realized you had to play it a certain way? So what was that like for you? Like what made that click for you?
I wish that this is just a constructive criticism, because I hear this on like sports podcasts too. Like, I want to see people get better when they ask questions, like not repeating the question 3 times. I think that's just because I'm an impatient listener.
So the program director here in Baltimore, man, where I'm at, me and him went to high school together, right?
Y'all ready for this?
Right. And so you pretty much figuring out like, all right, we got a relationship. We know each other from Sandbox. He's definitely going to take a good record and play the record. Hell no. He wouldn't even give me the information on how to get my record in Media Base and Nielsen so that I was allowed to, do what I need to do to get it onto the actual radio. So what I did that was different is I found out what the radio was actually meant for. It was meant for advertising.
And I told y'all about this before. I told y'all about this before because I did the same shit. I did the same exact shit. And if you've ever had a song that you like foolishly thought was supposed to be played in between the biggest hit records, you tried to do this, and what you found out was what he's about to say.
Started an internship at the radio station and I hopped right into the marketing department. So I went to the guys that were above your program directors and artists. This is a big thing for you to understand. you don't even need to go to the program directors. You go deal with the guys up top, which is the marketing coordinators and the advertising coordinators, and you let them know I got a product and I got a brand. And I want to put my product and brand in front of your audience. And I also want to be supported as an artist. So I started to buy advertisements on a radio station, fellas, with my music as a part of the background. So I started learning how to get ad spots and get paid, one, for my music on that basic level. And then I built the relationships in the advertising and marketing department. When I became a client, then I became more important than just an artist. So then my opinion and my voice mattered because I was a part of the bottom line. When I realized the guys that were the gatekeepers that looked like me and looked like y'all, they were the real reasons that they were in the way, because they didn't even have the intellect or the knowledge of how things were getting done. So sometimes, bro, the guys that you look up to and the guys you believe know the answers, they really don't. And that's what I want people to take in. It was a self-education part for me, guys. I was having meetings and I was sitting down with guys that I thought was important to getting something done, and they were never the point person. They were never the decision maker. They was just trying to ball a block a guy. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to grease their own palms, fellas. So that was the most.
Hey, a lot of
They were trying to do what? They were trying to do what? They were trying to get paid? Ola?
times them blocking you isn't really because they don't really feel you like that. It's because they
plays, right? Being a shareholder. You guys heard of Fiverr before, right?
yeah.
All right, so this was crazy. Fiverr, early on, I had stocks in Fiverr, Spotify. Like, I was trying to do some different shit as far as like learning the ins and outs of how that game plays, right? Being a shareholder. So Fiverr had the record labels early on, the last like 10, 12 years, they were selling their services through Fiverr because it was a slick, encrypted way for you not to know who was what and what was what. So I actually went on Fiverr and I started testing out a bunch of these different services. And then that's how I started figuring out who were the program directors and where my records were getting spent at and all types of stuff.
Did you hear what he just said? Somebody type in the chat and explain to me what he just said, because I wanna see if you guys understood that, because I feel like, because people are telling me that they watched this interview and I don't fucking believe you guys. I don't think that you actually watched this interview, because what he just said was incendiary. Okay, all right, okay, all right. So what I need you guys to do is 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 put on your big boy pants, right? Put on your thinking caps, close your eyes, and listen to what he is saying about Fiverr.
You guys heard of Fiverr before, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this was crazy. Fiverr, early on, I had stocks in Fiverr, Spotify. Like, I was trying to do some different shit as far as like learning the ins and outs of how that game plays, right? Being a shareholder. So Fiverr had the record labels early on, the last like 10, 12 years, they were selling their services through Fiverr because it was a slick, encrypted way for you not to know who was what and what was what.
Somebody tell me what he just said. I'm not moving on until somebody tells me what he just said. I just need one of you people to understand what he just said. Okay. All right. Working undercover doing what though? Working undercover doing what? Because remember, Spy, I don't know if you're telling a joke or not, but remember, engineers don't work for a record label. Artists don't work for a record label. Songwriters don't work for a record label. Who works at the record label? Okay. Exactly. The marketing. Lawyers and marketers. Yes. It's marketers. It's marketers. So, and the janitor. And the janitor. So, why would a record label who's part of a multi-billion-dollar business need to solicit their marketing services on a place like Fiverr? He says it here at the end.
I went to you guys heard of Fiverr before, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this was crazy. Fiverr, early on, I had stocks in Fiverr, Spotify. Like I was trying to do some different shit as far as like learning the ins and outs of how that game plays, right? Being a shareholder. So Fiverr had the record labels early on, the last like 10, 12 years, they were selling their services through Fiverr because it was a slick, encrypted way for you not to know who was what and what was what. So I actually went on Fiverr and I started testing out a bunch of these different services. And then that's how I started figuring out who were the program directors and where my records were getting spent at and all types of stuff. There is an underground coalition of program directors that you can send your money to and be top 40 the next day and all types of other shit. Like,
What? 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 What?
I haven't been in that scene in about 2-3 years, but I can guarantee that's the way that.
Hey, listen, not from mine, but from the Brand Man Network, right? I want you, like any of you guys that follows that dude who was running around telling all of the fucking telling all of music Twitter that Payola isn't real. I want you to clip that and send it to him and ask him his thoughts. Do not do it with my video. Don't do it with my video. Do it with the real video from Brand Man Network.
Radio works. It's an underground way to get money to the right people to get your record in rotation tomorrow night. And the program directors is just as responsible for it. The thing that broke my heart is the guy where I'm from, he told me that he could tell I was doing Payola because I was getting a lot of support from out of town and doing different shit. He was just mad that I wasn't figuring out a way to strategically do Payola with him instead of him strategically figuring out how I could do it with him. You understand what I'm saying? He was frustrated at me for not figuring out how he could get his palms greased instead of being like, just tell me straight up, bro. We from the same hood. Like, you want to get paid? Let's figure out how we get paid. Don't just be cryptic and block my record. And then eventually I didn't need him.
Bruh. Yo, Ant, yes. Find the old thread, bro. Find the old thread. Put that man in hell, bro. Because either he don't know what the fuck he's talking about, which we all know he's too smart to not know what the fuck he's talking about, or he's misleading people for a reason that we don't understand. But there should be some accountability there because he's very sassy.
Oh man, that's funny. But there's a couple things I want to go through.
We can call up and our kids got a job tomorrow at this platform. We're not bosses. Like, let's be honest. That day changed the way that I viewed people in the industry. When I created my bot network, one of my first clients, guys, behind the scenes was DJ Envy. Why? Because you are who you are. And you don't know that I'm the young black guy behind the website. You get what I'm saying? When you buying followers and likes and send it. Specifically, we're not bosses. Unless we can call up and our kids got a job tomorrow at this platform, we're not bosses. Like, let's be honest. That day changed the way that I viewed people in the industry. When I created my bot network, one of my first clients, guys, behind the scenes was DJ Envy. Why? Because you are who you are. And you don't know that I'm the young black guy behind the website. You get what I'm saying? When you buying followers and likes and syndication, because it's something that everybody is doing. So people might not know who you are specifically, but they want to know of your work. And I'm going to always appreciate the fact that, my work succeeds the name, bro. I got a lot of hands behind stuff, right? Right now, to this day, Sean, we do streaming packages for 1 million streams because that's the way to get it done most.
Streaming packages. Just be clear on what he's saying.
Successfully and for the best bang of your buck. If you spending $2,500 and Spotify pays you $3,000 in royalties, I want you to spend $2,500 to make $500, build your profile, and continue to get paid and compensated.
I don't. It's still like it still fucking blows my mind that that we could do this, talk about it openly, right? Talk about it openly. We could do this, talk about it openly, and I'm gonna fucking go on Twitter and some dickhead is gonna tell me about how some rapper is better than Pusha T because he streams more.
If you are buying these things almost like the drug game and you buying 1,000 streams here, 10,000 streams here, you can't get the best bang for your buck as a bulk artist. So you got to also boss up. Don't buy the Gucci belt. You know, don't buy none of the Armani
Buy streams.
the Miri or none of the sneakers, bro.
Buy streams.
Invest in what you got going on. Also, the different thing for these artists is that you can get in the game and you can sell these services as an artist. And that's how I really got into the game, into the PR, finding blogs that will repost artists, providing services, building websites. So I also think that's a big part of the artists don't like to do. They don't like to be service-based. And for those that are,
of course artists don't like to be service based. This is the part where I fucking can't stand the marketer artist dichotomy. You know what I mean? Cuz they say it in a way like it's bad. You know what I mean? Like you don't want an artist who's service based, right? Like you don't want an artist. You don't want a rapper. Like could you imagine, I don't know, who's a rapper that we like now? Somebody give me the name of a rapper that we like now who isn't like, you know, an arena headliner, somebody that, somebody that we could believe that we could get in touch with, you know what I'm saying? Not Jim Jones. Like imagine if Larry June and The Alchemist, right? Were out there and they were like, you know, you support their music or whatever. You buy some merch. You wind up on their email list. They send you a survey, or you a creator. You get the email back, and Larry June is trying to sell you is trying to sell you million view packages for $2,500. You know, from a marketer perspective, the marketer's like, oh, but Larry June, you've got such a huge email list, and you're and you've got so many people that want to rap and be just like you. You know, why wouldn't you just sell them the sauce? You know, that's the marketer perspective. And Larry June is like, yo, why the fuck would I fucking tell everybody that I got people buying my streams to prop up my physical album sales? Because if you don't think that that's what these fucking guys are doing, that are selling the physical copies, like is that processing yet? Are you seeing the different angles of it? Nah. All right, let's go.
They're really successful. They provide the content, the music, and they also provide the service. And that's one of the biggest things I learned in the industry for some of our most successful artists. That's why I love the producers. They artists at heart, bro, but they really producing the music and they writing the music for other artists so they can feed their families consistently.
I love the idea of artists doing services. People ask me that all the time.
I fucking hate. Why do you love the idea of artists doing services? Why? Like when I think about artists, all I think about is listening to their music or experiencing their art. I don't want an artist to have a fucking marketer brain, bro. Like I swear to God, if like I don't know, maybe these boys would love it if somebody came out talking about SEO panels on a trap beat. I don't want to hear that shit.
Should I be a marketer or should I be in the industry at all? Like my whole thing, the way I see it, right? If I was an artist, me doing service,
I don't fucking care what you would do if you were an artist. Like I gotta tell you the truth. All right, so here is. All I care about is what story would you tell?
Now, I don't want to go too deep into like what if they dungeon combat streams because we know it's not really all that serious. But the idea of shadow banning, how do you view shadow banning, knowing what you know when it comes to like Spotify and getting rid of tracks or even shadow banning on social media in general? How do you view it?
All right.
Beat Juggernaut says that's no different than dope dealers rapping about the trap. Yeah, but here's the thing, right? So when it comes to dope dealers rapping about the trap, you know, people who are our age, Beat Juggernauts, like we all love New Jack City. You know what I'm saying? Like we fucking love that movie, right? Um, the kids don't know that the Carter series that is named after, you know, the legendary trap in New Jack City, which was the Carter building, right? You love New Jack City. It was the New Jack City is fucking amazing. Um, to hear audio versions of that was awesome too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we seen New Jack City, and then we got to listen to Only Built for Cuban Links and Reasonable Doubt, you know, and you know, and you know, up until today. I would never want to watch a full-length feature film about marketers. And I don't think you guys would either.
Period. Point blank. Period. You can get shadow banned on your Instagram, your Facebooks, your YouTubes. Like that's a thing. That's really a thing. Now we all understand as marketers that these platforms is only going to give us so much reach organically. They really here, bro, for you to put advertising dollars into their platforms. Point blank. Period. We can't get around that conversation. Nobody really want to talk about it. Even TikTok, you will be spending money to get your content shown to the people that's on their platform. Let's just get around.
You heard that? You heard that? Be real. Even TikTok, you will be spending money to get your stuff on their platform.
Around that. Now, if you can find these loopholes and tweak stuff and make stuff happen, cool. My best advice to you is that while it's working and it's early on, build your own list. Build your own list of people that you can market to, that you can communicate with on a daily. Figure out how to use your email and your SMS. The way that the Spotify stuff works, guys, is that they will ban you. They'll ban your records. And like I told you, you can still work with your metadata.
They'll ban you. Like, listen to what he's saying. Take notes on this, Be Real. They will ban you. They will ban your records, but you can keep your metadata. So if you're thinking about this shit, you need to do one or two things, Be Real, if you're going to take this to your tribe. You need to either figure out what the workaround with the metadata is, or you need to pay him for that information. But do not go about doing this yourself and lose your Spotify account.
But the only way to get around it is to partner with the majors. So if you want to come and play that game and you want to play it to a certain type of level, you just got to know your limitations. You got to know that if you aren't with an Interscope or an Atlantic or you know, your Republic, if you do certain things or certain, you know, saying strategic marketing methods, they could ban you.
If you, or we're going to call them what they are, black hat tactics.
Your entire profile in your song and forever. If you're an independent artist and you never want your name to show up on Spotify ever again, you'll be very, very careful and know what you're doing and know who you're working with before you do such things. Apple Music, not the same way right now, guys. Tidal, not the same way. You already see Tidal went through a lot of stuff early on as far as like their own streaming inflations and all that other stuff. The real reason why Spotify has to have so much control because they own the biggest network share of all of this streaming stuff. And they the only one that got the free platform. So that's the only one that you can get a free account and go listen to the music. You get what I'm saying? And
do you get what he's saying by they're the only one? Do you understand why being a free, it's the reason why like games that are free to play have so many cheaters? It's because if you can have a bajillion free accounts, which means that you can have a bajillion bots, right? That's why Elon Musk wants everybody to pay for Twitter so he could get rid of the bots. That's the only way to get bots off your platform is to make it cost to have a bot.
That's why Spotify is the one that has to deal with the most of the craziness. People don't really play with Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon, Napster.
Because it costs a lot of fucking money.
Stuff like that.
because you'd have to pay for the accounts.
Me personally, I do. I got a lot of paid accounts. I got a lot of resources, but
he does. He has money.
That's not the kind of game that most artists are privy to. They just out here trying to game the Spotify.
Most artists are broke.
And YouTube, they free platforms. So it's a real thing. Just be careful, man. It's the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, that's interesting. I never thought of it like that, right? Like you broke it down to if you're an artist gaming Spotify specifically.
And I think he had a point on AI back here. We're almost done, boys. I need you guys to see this. I need you guys to see it with my filter because I've seen a lot of people say that they saw this and I didn't hear nobody say anything about this except, wow, this guy's smart. Like, so.
Yes. Well, we also going to have to master this technology to know what's real and what's not. We're going to have to be able to point out when it's a bot and when it's not a bot. We're going to have to be able to see those things. The other day I was using Instagram. The guy's bot was so good, I thought I was talking to a regular person. I was ready to give this nigga $1,500. The promotion was dope. The funnel was dope. And then he called me on the phone like, bro, that was a bot you've been talking to for the last 3 weeks. That's how good the technology is getting. Even the chat bots are becoming extremely intelligent, the customer service bots. So, you know, bro, this ain't going anywhere. If y'all see what's coming down the pipeline, I was doing this 15 years ago, bro. So I can't imagine where it's about to go at. And now everybody gonna have access to the resources. So bots ain't going nowhere. It's only gonna get bigger and better and more smart. And for us, man, to have a seat at the table, bro, we better figure out and we better continue to network with the right guys. Vice TV showed you guys they got 16-year-olds that's building these sneaker bots. That young kid, Bot Boy Nova, that's my guy, yo, he's making $2 million a month. This 2 years ago. He's making $2 million a month, bro. You can't put a pair of Jordans on the sneakers app and he not go ahead and have his team. You got a team of people that will bot your sneakers away now. PlayStation 5s, your next Xboxes, your tickets to concerts, any and everything, bro, the bots is going to be involved. All right, so whether you know it or not, whether you care or not, it's still going to be happening, you know. And so I'd rather be on the right side of history, fellas. And if I was on the wrong side, I won't be on the wrong side again. I can promise you that.
Hey, man.
So, you know, I went into it, you know, believing the published narrative of this man that, you know, he was a scammer who bought fake plays and got caught and went to jail, you know, and he was a big goof and a doofus or anything like that. And, you know, that find out that when you hear his whole story, that's not the case. He's a marketer. They got fucked by a larger corporation to insulate themselves. They used him as the fall guy, and I think that's really important. I think that's so important to know that happened, that it can happen, that's the way that is the nature of business. You know what I mean? And I'm just I'm happy that he was able to see the other side, and you know, and now, and you know continue to grow and prosper, you know, and you know, just get his freedom back and everything, because that was just ridiculous. This is a totally, I mean, he's from Baltimore though. I don't know I don't know what the I don't know who the other Baltimore person you're thinking about is, Jay. Adrenaline says, it's so hard for my age group to totally understand tech in this area. That's a big void in the marketplace. What do you mean? Explain the void. Yeah, no problem, Jay. I think that this is really important. I hope that I hope that you guys, like any music people, that any music friends that you have, whether they be online or in real life, like I hope you talk about this story, because this is, and share the Brandman video, or if you want to share the commentary version of mine, I'm sure Bluff will chop this up and put together some short clips, so it's easier to digest, and we'll come up with some spicy titles and try to get some more like visibility to it. But um you know it's very important. It's very important that people understand that, especially if you have musical aspirations. Let's take care of this fucking guitar though, buddy. What's going on here? We don't want to record. Oh, let's see if I get. Let's see if I get some low notes on it. This shit. Maybe fucking downloading, bro. What the fuck? Yeah, download that new season, baby. 2, 3, 4. Something like that. Something easy. CMP sounds like he's immersed in the know, but half of it sounds like Greek to me. Oh man, I don't like that. I prefer that you guys understood. I need to buy a bass now. That's what I really need. Pretending like I know how to play the guitar. Need this shit to download. Don Trail says, I ain't know you was hip on the Brand Man Network. Don Trail, I'm in the fucking YouTube Illuminati, bro. Like, I'll be telling you guys, I don't. I think you guys think I'm joking because I don't have 100,000 subs. YouTube Illuminati pay dues or got payola? Nah, you no, I can't speak on it. It's the fucking YouTube Illuminati, bro. Nah, it's not the YouTube Boule. It is the YouTube Illuminati. let me just tell you that right now. Yeah, you guys are wilding. Yo, Don Trail needs to be stopped. Don Trail needs to be stopped, bro. That is. I fucking love this template. Oh my god. I like this. I just want to. I'm just wondering if I could actually like. Can you make a beat with this sample? Oh, well then. Hello, sir. Don't mind if I do. Yo. Yo. That shit goes. All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go. Hope that you guys had a great time on this stream. I hope that you remember to keep it simple and do not be basic. You know, we'll see you on the next one. And remember, if you're going to invest in your visibility online, just be careful and don't get your accounts banned. You know, rules to monopoly and all that, right?